Nigeria's fast food industry has gradually become one of the fastest growing businesses in the country. Fast food restaurants like this are springing up at every street corner in both highbrow and downtown Lagos. Because of this, the number of fast food brands in the market continues to grow every day. Tantalizer is one of the major fast food chains in the country. Now, as one of the major players in Nigeria's fast food sector, looking at the growth in the industry, was this the case 2 to 5 years ago?
2 to 5 years ago, Nigeria's fast food industry, at the best, was at infancy. Infancy because at about that time, things started opening up, and local participants were showing more interest because of opportunities that were coming up. And about that same time too, we were maybe just about 7 years old as a company, and we could see that a lot of activities were coming up in the industry, and then so many things have happened between then and now. And as we speak, other participants are still coming in, so the industry is still growing.
So how much is the organized fast food industry in Nigeria worth today?
Well, we're looking at about $700 million today. Even though in Nigeria we don't have exact statistics. So what we do maybe at the best is to have what we call a guesstimate of what is happening. But it will be just about $700 million in terms of total worth of the industry.
So what do you think is responsible for the growth in the fast food industry?
First of all, international travels is exposing a lot of people to the idea of fast food. The Travel Industry Association of America in 2005, in an article they wrote, predicted that by year 2010, which is next year, international travels will increase to about 937 million international arrivals. In terms of psychographics as well as demographics, a lot of things have also changed in Nigeria. The city life now is getting busier. Lagos, for instance, I mean, a lot of hustle and bustle. And on the island where we have the key activities, most people will find it more convenient to eat out. And let me also quickly mention that if you look at our situation in Nigeria today, infrastructure is still very bad, especially power. And when people get home and there is no power, it's boring. So an easy place to come to is a fast food outlet where at least power is guaranteed. You can get good food, you can also get cold drinks, and then you can watch cable TV.
What is the competition like?
The barrier to entry is fairly low. So we have all sorts of all-comers. It's an all-comers market at the beginning. But where you begin to separate the boys from the men is when you become a chain and you need to manage logistics. One of the things we have used to compete effectively is the strength of our logistics, because now we have 52 outlets within the country. And then the logistic operations is quite demanding because consistency of your product quality, supply of raw materials, the vehicles, the people, even the people that you are managing, because in the different branches, because both in Lagos and outside Lagos, you have to be able to coordinate all of these things together. And then the structure you put in place, competent people, qualified people, a very strong quality assurance department, because of course, we have to make sure, because the business of food is good business, but at the same time, it's a very sensitive business.
The growth in this sector is perhaps a sign of the socio-economic development. But it goes to say that the fast food culture is fast evolving in this society, especially amongst the youths, middle class and nouveau riche. Amongst the several factors that have contributed to the growth in this industry, the fact that the average disposable income of Lagosians has increased, giving them more money to spend dining out, is a major aspect. Also, the cost difference between eating out and cooking at home has decreased. Is fast food in Nigeria affordable for the average Nigerian?
Yeah, in terms of socioeconomic groups, we are looking at the A, B, and maybe the entry level for the C class. And so because our product range really is fairly wide, and our products are, well, not too expensive, but I would say at the same time, they are not cheap. Because what we try to do is to give value. And the way I look at value is that what you are spending your money on should be good quality, not necessarily expensive. Definitely, restaurants where you have to sit and be served in tables are more expensive than our kind of business. But at the same time, we are not as cheap as the local people that are just doing the run-of-the-mill kind of thing, whether the quality is good or not.
What are the infrastructural challenges specific to the fast food industry in Nigeria?
Well, easily, what comes straight to my mind, and of course I'm sure you will expect this, is power. I mean, it's really so bad now that all we do with the public power supply is that now is the backup. Generator is the main source of supply of power. As a matter of fact, now in our outlets, we do not just have generators, we also have other generators that are backing up the generators, because consistently you'd find out that we are spending a lot of money on generator maintenance as well as diesel purchase. The amount of money we spent on diesel last year is exactly the same profit that this company posted in terms of to the bottom line, and that is instructive. And of course, taxation also from government. It's good for us to pay taxes, but the double taxation, especially in the metropolitan cities, you have the local government coming, the state government coming, the federal government coming, sometimes on the same issue. And of course, the quality of people too, training of manpower, because the industry is still relatively young. And then we've found ourselves in a situation where we've had to train people, and as soon as we finish training them, they take off, especially the junior staff, because the staff turnover rate is very high. They want to go back to school. You know, in other places like Europe and America, you have part-time students coming to do this kind of business. But we don't have that kind of arrangement in Nigeria. We have people that are hired on permanent basis. Sourcing of raw materials is also another one that is a very challenging part of the whole thing. Because here we still don't have pre-processed materials like we have in Europe. We have to engage sources that are coming from the farms directly. For instance, our chicken. The quality of our chicken, for instance, is very good. But then you discover that consistently, because of the sheer population of this country, the demand for chicken is consistently higher than the supply. And then we have a number of fast food industries competing for very limited quantity of the same product.
What makes Nigeria's fast food sector unique compared to other countries?
We introduced the African menu. We try to use that as a way of competing even better. And what people will ordinarily eat at home and then take their time, like a pounded yam, for instance, that they would take time to prepare. We introduced it, and our customers loved it, and that has helped us also to grow. It's one of the unique things that we do. And the way we still prepare our food, you eat the same quality of food that you eat at home. And that also makes it unique, because we have not, they are not things that we have added artificial materials to, natural meals in a very good and cozy environment.
So where do you see the sector in the next 5 years?
Well, I tell you one thing, that the way we are, there is a major advantage for whoever is in business in Nigeria. Even if you are not in fast food business, this country is big in terms of numbers. The only problem this time around is that the economy itself needs to be strengthened, and I'm sure government is trying to do something about that. The industry will continue to grow, but those that will be able to compete have to internationalize. And we have also had international companies coming, especially on franchise basis, to participate in the market because of the potentials that are here. A number of them have not been able to withstand the pressure because they don't understand the challenges that we are facing in terms of the things that I have mentioned before. But for those that are able to go around the challenges and compete and have their heads above the waters, the opportunities are there. But we have to internationalize. And those that are coming in too, they have to be able to adapt to the local environment in terms of our culture. Because cultures also have to be integrated into whatever you are selling. McDonald's did it in Asia. When they got there, they had to introduce some meals that are not traditional McDonald's products in the Asian market. So the same thing has to happen with the South African companies that are in the market today here. They have to understand Nigeria, they have to think Nigeria, they have to offer things that will make Nigerians feel happy when they go into their fast food company, not just Western meals because we want to do fast food.